Well, with the coronavirus going on, I'd have to say I think Bill Burr is a prophetic genius. He's a Nostradamus when it comes to how to deal with cruise ships. Let's hear what he has to say.
I would randomly sink cruise ships.
Yeah, what? What? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's hear him out. Why would you randomly sink cruise ships?
Because you'd get like 2,500 to 3,000 people a whack, right? And I think it's a good mix of people to get rid of.
So since coronavirus has started, we've seen all of these cruise ships. They're like floating petri dishes. People stuck out in the ocean in close quarters, coronavirus just spreading, everybody getting infected, everybody dying. They come back to port, nobody wants to take them. They're like, get out of here, not in my town, not in my city. So I think in 2020, the cruise ship industry just needs to go bye-bye. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that say, but Dave, I love going on a cruise. Well, I've been on a cruise. I went on a cruise for 9 days. Back when I was in my late 20s, my dad, who was retired at the time, wanted to take the whole family on a cruise. And we went to Honduras, Belize, Cozumel, Cancun. 9 days. And I have to say, that was the most boring ass trip I've ever been on. It sucked. I personally stayed in the casino the whole time. Once the casino opened, once we got so far off the shore, I just stayed in the casino and drank. Because cruise ships are boring. Like, this is all you can do. Eat, drink, drink, eat, drink, drink, eat. It's boring. There's nothing to do. It's just the worst thing. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to eat or do you want to drink? Do you want to drink or do you want to eat? And then what also sucks is you get out there and like when you're on the cruise ship, you know, as you're coming close to port, they're like, yo, we got all these excursions. You know, do you want to sign up for excursion? And they make them look like really awesome. And you sign up for these excursions and it's like being in prison. Like, I remember this one excursion I signed up for was to go to these Mayan ruins and then this really pretty beach. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that'll be fun, you know, Mayan ruins, you know. And me, I've been to Chichen Itza, which is the huge Mayan capital with the huge pyramid and all the ruins. And I was thinking, okay, you know, I really like that. So, you know, maybe this will be cool. So you end up getting in these little vans. Once you come to port, they drive you. You feel like, you know, you're in a prison because they don't let you go anywhere. You're just in the van. They watch you, you know, they make sure, I guess because, you know, they're responsible for you. So we get to this place and there's a few rocks stacked up and they're like, yeah, that's the Mayan ruins. I'm like, wow, compared to what I've seen with Chichen Itza, that's junk. And then they take you to this little beach and sure, it was pretty, but, you know, after about an hour, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. But no, this is a 5-hour excursion, so we can't take you back. So you're just stuck there. I remember going and I'm like, okay, after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was ready to go. I was like, this is boring. And they're like, no, we're going to feed you and all this stuff. Yeah, a bunch of sack lunches and, you know, bologna sandwiches and stuck on this beach for like 5 hours. I was like bored out of my mind. I remember like this lady got sick and they're like, well, we're going to take this lady back. I was like, can I go? Can I go? And they're like, well, no. And I was like, well, I'm by myself. And they're like, oh, you're by yourself? And I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, you can go. So I just, you know, I was like, thank God this lady got sick so I can get the freak out of here. And that's it. So now like with this coronavirus thing, it's like, you know, I wouldn't be caught dead on a cruise ship. You know, nobody wants to take you. Like when you get stuck out there and it's like, even before coronavirus, you know, you hear about people, you know, getting food poisoning and then you're stuck out on the ship and everything sucks. And like I read an article where like this one ship that, you know, had this food poisoning stuff going around that after about 3 or 4 days, the toilets were so full that they were overflowing onto the floors, I was like, it's like people don't realize it's like a floating prison and you're stuck. Once you're on there, you're stuck. There's no way off of it. And I think Bill Burr is a genius. You know, he says randomly sink these cruise ships. And, you know, I don't want to kill people. I know he's just joking. But cruise ships need to go bye-bye. They're a waste of money. They're a waste of time. They suck. They pollute the environment horribly. Like, they treat the people that work there horribly. I remember when I was on there, like, you meet people, like, there was, you know, girls and guys from all over the world. People from Asia, people from Eastern Europe, people from Russia, people from, you know, everywhere. People from, you know, the Middle East working there. And, like, you know, they're nice people. And you start talking to them. And you want to, like, spend more time with them and hang out with them. But they're like, I remember this one girl I was talking to. She was really cool. And she was from, like, Russia. And she was really neat. She had this cool accent. And so me and her are talking. And I was like, hey, you know, when you get off of work, you know, like, hey, let's go hang out. You know, let's, you know, I get bored, you know, because my parents, you know, they're all doing parent things. And I was, like, kind of by myself. So I was like, you know, hey, let's go hang out and stuff. Oh, I can't do that. I'm like, why? She's like, well, you're a guest. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm a guest. I'm not saying that, you know, we're dating or anything. I'm just wanting to hang out. I'm bored. I'm just trying to meet people. Oh, I can't do that. If I get caught with you, they could fire me and, you know, destroy my contract, and then I got to go home and all that. And I'm like, you're off of work. She's like, well, even though I'm off, I still can't, you know, fraternize with you. And I'm like, okay, you know. I'm like, damn, you know, they must really freaking put the fear of God into those people. But I think it's about time that we just got rid of cruise ships. Cruise ships just, number one, they're not fun. They make them sound really fun, but once you get out there, they're not good. It's like, it's just, you know, for fat people just to sit around and eat all the time. Because, you know, I remember, like, you know, that was my dad's biggest thing. Oh, you know, you can go eat. Yeah, I don't want to eat that much. You know, I get full. I don't need to eat every 5 minutes. Well, you can drink and you can drink. And you think, oh, okay, well, I can drink. But I'm telling you, like, I remember, like, the third day we were out there, like, I had drank the night before, and I woke up, and you're in this little teeny cabin, and I remember I was trying to take a shower, and I was, like, freaking shaking all over the place, and I'm like, Jesus, man, I must be freaking hung over like crap. So I go upstairs to meet with my mom and dad, and, like, the pool is drained, and I realize it's not me that's shaking back and forth, it's the roughness. And these other people, man, it was horrible, man. There was people there that were so sick because they were getting seasick from the freaking shaking of the boat. And, man, because we hit some rough seas. And, like, this one guy, man, like, my mom and dad started talking to him and or his wife, and she was telling us about how he was so sick he couldn't even raise his head. He was taking Dramamine like he was going out of style, and he was, like, stuck back in the cabin because he had just gotten so sick because of the motion sickness. And people don't realize, you know, and like I said, even I don't have motion sickness, but you don't really want to drink when you're out there shaking and everything. You're already hung over, and then the shaking, it doesn't really help. So, you know, and then the big thing is, like, everybody's all like, oh, we all get dressed up, the captain's dinner. Fuck the captain. I don't give a shit about him. He ain't no real captain. He ain't no, like, it's not like he fought in World War II and was at Pearl Harbor or something. He just got a flashy suit with a little hat on and, ooh, I'm the captain. Who cares? But, yeah, I think that 2020 should be the death of cruise ships. They're a waste of time. They're a waste of money. They really suck. They destroy the environment. And like I said, you're floating. It's just a floating petri dish. You know? So I think Bill Burr, he had it right. I don't want to sink them, but I think that the industry should be sunk. And sunk, not, you know, literally, but metaphorically. So this is David. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.